thought we'd just do some questions that Haley's already prepared for us about the film, and then after we're done with that, I'm going to invite anyone else who's in the film to take the chairs if they'd like to, and we'll open it up to the audience if you guys have any questions. But yeah, we'll start with Haley's questions.
Awesome. Let's start with a little introduction. My name's Haley Davis. I'm just here to conduct the interview.
I'm Noah Woolley. I think you know me.
I'm Grandma SKIM.
I'm James. I'm Josh Branson.
Okay, so the first question is for Noah, and it has 3 parts. Where did it all begin? Where did the script come from? How did you develop everything?
Well, I was thinking about it the other day, and I think about now it's been almost exactly a year from when I finished the first draft of the script. And there was a thank you to Kimball. Where is Kimball? Oh, hey. Kimball read the script for me and peer reviewed it in my creative writing class, and that's where it started. It started with this scene. You know, they say write what you know, and I'm always obsessed with men's suits. I really love suits. And so I wrote this scene about this character named Adam getting tailored for a suit. And then it kind of got fleshed out. It was like, okay, why is he getting a suit? Because he has a date that night. And then I sort of filled in the grandma scene at the beginning. Anyways, everything was built around the suit scene, and it's the one part that doesn't matter and isn't in the film. So, yeah, that's kind of how it started.
All right, awesome. And then next question is for Josh. Josh, how did you enjoy working on the project? What was it like working with Noah, and do you have any good stories?
Working with Noah it's really fun. It's honestly a blast. I got really close to Noah over a couple long drives to where we were shooting, and we got to talk a lot. Noah's kind of a weird director. If I was ever winded in a scene, it's because he had me run laps before the scene. And he would spray me so that I looked like I was sweating, and we poured orange juice all over my shirt. Anyways, it's a little unethical, but it turned out. Working with Noah is honestly a blast, and I would recommend to any actor. It was really a blast getting to work with James, getting to work with Mary and Lincoln here, and getting to know. I kind of joined the Woolley family, because there would be some shoots where it was me and all the Woolleys, and we're at Grandma's house shooting this scene. And I got to join the family, and it was honestly a blast. And Noah's an amazing director, and I had a blast.
Oh, that's so cute.
I remember, if I can interrupt really quick, the theater scene specifically. So we had done a couple takes, and it just wasn't feeling quite right. I needed Josh to be a little angrier, and James was in on this scene too. And so the whole idea is that James's character isn't doing anything. So I said, James, I want you to take a break. So go scroll through social media or something. So he went to the side and was having the time of his life. And then I said, Josh, run up and down the stairs and keep going until I tell you to stop. And so he kept going, kept going, kept going. He comes back down and I go, Josh, do you feel tired yet? And he goes, yeah. I go, okay, keep going. And so we just keep going, keep running. And then he comes down and we thought we were done.
All right, one more take!
One more time!
Go!
Yeah, and yeah. Another thing, do you remember, maybe we'll save that for later. There's another thing.
Well, next question is for Josh again. That being said, was any moment of the film difficult for you? Did it take time to get to? Just like the one we heard, but...
Doing the character work wasn't really hard for me because it's just a normal guy going through a hard day, so I just had to act like a normal guy. But there were some difficult parts. I mean, obviously running laps. In the grocery store, we had signs, SKIM, filming in progress. And I'm yelling at Charlie. I love Charlie, guys. I did get to yell at her in public. And I definitely had some people yell back at me who did not see the filming in progress. And it was hard to yell and then get yelled back at and then say, okay, let's get another take going. And I'm like, I just got yelled at by this single mother with 3 kids who just asked me to stop yelling at this cashier. Anyways, that was a fun take, and the grocery store was definitely an experience, and that was a fun moment.
What did you think shooting the final scene?
Oh, so the final scene, I come back with the milk and it's not skim. I did the reaction of the milk is my pillow that I'm gonna cry into. I did that 50 plus times.
The take, so a take is like a continuous shot. We just decided to keep the camera rolling and we're gonna do it as many times. It's something like 20 minutes long, so
yeah.
Almost as long as the whole film of him going over and over again.
Well, finally, the take, the one that we used at the very end of the take, Noah said, "Oh shoot, this camera hasn't been rolling. We can't use any of those." And so it was like 11 o'clock at night when we shot that. It has been a long day. Like that was acting, but that was not acting. and I cried into that milk, and it was therapeutic.
Okay, then let's go back to Noah. What was that first sequence shot that we saw at the beginning of the film?
So like what was the first thing we ever shot? So because of the way scheduling and things had worked out, we decided to shoot the sequence that was James' busy day. So
James' busy day!
And so we spent a whole day shooting that. James was willing, even though he wasn't acting, and assist me the whole day, which was just amazing. Thank you, James. We drove around, following him all around Morgan. That was shot in Morgan with our camera, and it was just so much fun. And at the end of the day, I went, shoot, I've written this film about the wrong character, because I fell so in love with James's character. And that day, I was like, how are we gonna make Adam interesting? We've used it all on James. But no, Josh came in and brought new energy, and it was amazing. Get permission really quick to share something. Just to show you how he's not even trained and how devoted of an actor Lincoln is. So he of course chugs the Sprite, as you saw, in the 2 times. And any smart director or ethical director would have just given him like water in the Sprite bottles. And we did do that for the takes you see in the film. But I guess I didn't think of that. So the first time we shot it, he chugged the Sprite, and he got it all down, and right before he had just had like a foot-long Subway sandwich, and like a red Slurpee, so all of a sudden, I'm in the middle of a take, and he ducks down and I go, "Lincoln, what's going on? Get back in the shot." And I turn the camera and I look, and he's just throwing up, and it's like this red paste. Yes.
Too much, reel it back.
Anyways.
Reel it back.
But anyways, the fact that he was willing to then after that chug more for me, it just shows what an incredible actor Lincoln is. And
Noah, he wants to say something. Lincoln, did you want to say something? No. Okay.
With that, let's go to Lincoln, who played James. Lincoln, what was your experience making the film, and do you have any other fun stories?
Well, he forgot to mention that I chugged 4+ waters after that, just of the Sprites. I don't know how many it was. I don't remember. But
4.
Yeah, 4?
It was 4.
So yeah, 4 of those. It's I don't know how much that adds up to, but it was a lot of water. I felt like I was a water balloon. It was pretty bad, yeah, but yeah, I mean, it turned out pretty well, I think. That was interesting. We went to we got that on, and it was interesting because it looked pretty real.
The hospital.
Yeah, the hospital scene.
Final credit scene, yeah.
And I thought it was really fun to like get a cast on and stuff, and then I got to go around in a wheelchair and stuff.
Yeah, we wheeled him around the clinic.
Yeah, it was really fun. Yeah, and then yeah, I mean, it was really fun. I really liked. That's like the first real like. I've done a few like short films with Noah before, which was really fun. But this is like the first time I've really done anything like theatrical. Like I've never really ever done anything else theatrical really like at all. So yeah, it was a lot of fun, and yeah, that's about it.
Awesome. And on that note, what was it like acting with Josh and him playing your brother?
It was lots of fun. Yeah, he's really good at acting, and I thought it was lots of fun to watch him. I got like secondhand embarrassment at the grocery store. It was.
You're holding the sign.
I know, but like it was still embarrassing. Yeah.
Sucks to be you, Josh.
Yeah. Because we had like several people, you know, stop and be like, "Hey, you need to stop that," and they got like mad. And I'm surprised he didn't get like smacked.
Put it in the film.
Yeah, probably actually. Speaking of that, the whole scene, like the whole part where I'm riding a bike, right, and then the cassette, it falls and breaks. That was not part of, like, originally. It actually fell and, like, broke. And then Noah came over and he's like, wait, we can use this. And so he gets down, and he's like, and he's like looking at it, and like, I'm like, what are you doing, dude? It's broken, like, this sucks. And so we just decided to make that part of it, which I thought was a really good idea, by the way. Yeah, it was really funny. And then we did fix it, so that's good. Yeah.
Awesome. And then we also have some questions for Mary, who played the grandmother. And what was your experience with the film and to be directed by your grandson?
Oh, that was so interesting because I had never been involved in anything like that and felt very shy about, as Lincoln had said, about being theatrical at all and knowing what Noah wanted. And so I learned a lot watching him. And he's reminds you close.
We'll just speak loud.
Yeah, I speak really loud anyway. So it was a wonderful, fun, entertaining couple of days to watch Noah and see that he knew what he wanted, and yet at the same time, when someone came up with an idea, maybe how to just switch it up a little bit, he was always open for that. I thought that was pretty good.
Awesome. And how are you different from your character that you played?
Oh, well, as I thought about being Grandma SKIM, I decided that probably there was a lot of me in Grandma SKIM. And, I mean, we're the same age. And, and besides that, we being the same age, we both think that we know what's best for our grandchildren. And probably for everyone else. So I felt similarities to her. I also felt that that she probably meant well, but she came across as sort of nonchalant about the pain her grandchildren were feeling, especially the car accident. And I think that maybe I wouldn't have responded quite that casually.
And then what was it like acting with Josh, him as your grandson, and feeding him eggs?
Oh. Well, that's another thing that Grandma SKIM and I have in common, and that is that we think that you should leave the house in the morning with a good breakfast. And, but I think that I probably would not have fed him from a fork.
I don't know.
Unless
I feel like I have a vague memory.
All right. Bringing things back to you, Noah, what was most difficult for you throughout this whole process? Were there any like specifically hard moments?
Yes. Anyone who was involved. This was not, I mean, I hope it looks like fun because it was not fun to make. I mean, it was fun. It was fun. When we were on set and we were actually doing it, but the whole lead up, there was a lot that was going, I mean, my mom and I were joking, it sounds like a good thing to put on the poster, but it's true that SKIM was the subject of multiple therapy sessions for me because I was so overwhelmed with how to get it done and all the moving pieces. I mean, it's the biggest thing I've ever done, but so yeah, it was hard sometimes, but I think the important thing was that we pushed through it and I had the most supportive people to help me through it, and that was what mattered. So.
Okay, awesome. And then, could you give us some insight on your process of directing actors, whether or not they're trained?
Yeah. I think this is what I was going to say for later in case we wanted to use it. So in the theater scene, and Mr. Wright helped teach me a little bit about tactics. That's something he's very big on, and I agree, like giving actors a real motivation behind each line in their scene. So I decided during that theater scene when I wanted more emotion between him and James, that I would take them both aside and give them their own objectives that the other person didn't know about and try to perform the scene that way. So I took Josh, I don't remember what I told James. What did I, it was something, oh, I said Josh took a lead role from him in the musical. And that's why he was, but then I took Josh aside, I took him upstairs, and I go, Josh, you know James down there? And he goes, yeah, I know James. And I go, he's hitting on your little sister. and he immediately, snaps, he goes, I got this. I got the range. And yeah, it made the scene. So I don't know, I think just like, especially with untrained actors, like, anyone really can benefit from knowing like their character's purpose or the emotion behind it. So.
Awesome. And then could you tell us a bit about the music that's in the film?
Yes. So Jeremy Matthews, who's right there. I don't know if you want to stand. Yeah, he's waving. The music added so much emotion. I couldn't be more grateful for his work on it. And I went over one night, and James was there as well. He's James' dad, and he was actually able, kind of a unique thing for any of my films, he was able to play the music to the picture. So you probably notice little bits, like when the trash can's shut and you hear like a chord hit, or like the drinking, how it goes down. He was actually able to time that correctly to the film, and that was just brilliant. It was just amazing, and that he was willing to do that. Oh.
If you've seen any of Noah's films before, I noticed that there's always a lot of intention behind everything in every specific film. So for this one, what was your intentions, and did you have any like personal links to it?
Everything. Everything is personal. Josh's character is, every character in the film is pretty much just me in a different way. But I'd say Josh's character is really me. A lot of the scenes, I'll say, are pretty much directly from real life. They're not all from like one experience, but they're from real life. Like maybe, I don't know, have we not all experienced frustrations with a partner's friend? A partner's friend. I think that's a pretty relatable thing. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying. And then the tomato. I just hate tomatoes. Don't get me started. So, yeah. I only drink skim milk. I don't even like milk, but if I'm gonna drink milk, I only drink skim. So everything is personal. Everything is like, yeah. It just all comes from me, different points in my life. So yeah, if we could have the other people who were in the film come up, if they would like to. And then we'll just quickly, if anyone has questions, we'll open it up to the audience.
That's probably fine. No, they didn't care.
I'll be Mike.
Let's.
Going to pass it around.
Sure, Miss Wright, if you would. Let's take Boston's first. Just back here.
Thank you. First off, great job. It was fantastic. Also, watching the film, I picked up a lot of Wes Anderson vibes, especially with like Asteroid City, a lot of the color grading. Am I just finding like coincidences, or was that very intentional?
Yeah, so you're not insane, because a lot of people would tell me that during the grade. It's not meant to look like Wes Anderson. I just wanted it to have a very summery tone, I guess. And I guess that's just kind of what we came to. I totally see the resemblance. It does look like that. I mean, it wasn't in my mind, though. Like, we're making this look like a Wes Anderson film. Yeah. Let's take that. Yeah.
So how many people would you say walked into the scene while you were filming?
Walked into the scene. Well, we didn't have to worry about it too much. Like, I'm assuming you're talking about like the grocery store, like a high traffic public area. Because the camera blurred, like the bokeh was pretty good on it, so we didn't have to worry about showing faces or anything. Like we said, some people interrupted the scene between Josh and Charlie a few times.
Sorry.
To say, you know, you got
That's my job.
And I don't know that we really had a problem, though we do have one really funny thing. When the manager of the grocery store comes and says, it's out of stock, there's a woman in the background we promised wouldn't be showing the film, but you can totally see her facial expression, and if you watch it next time, she goes like...
That was the manager.
Oh, that's another thing. Yeah, that guy was a real employee.
Yeah,
like a manager.
he actually works there. And
Yeah.
we were like, hey, you want to come be in a scene?
And he was a little hesitant at first. He was this, not in a rude way, but he was a quirky guy. And so I saw him, I mean, I'm a quirky guy, sorry. We saw him and I was just like, he has that quirky energy and I feel like it would be really good for the scene. So we pull him aside and we finally convince him. He's like, okay, I'm getting ready for my Hollywood premiere. And he comes over and he's like ready to be so quirky, like so himself, and I go, and action! And all of a sudden, just normal person. He just all of a sudden becomes like, lost all his personality, and was just like, I was like, where did all of you go? But that's a funny thing, I guess. So yeah.
I had a question for the cashier. Where did you get your inspiration?
Yeah, in different
I've heard from other people that you know like that. Is that true?
Probably my really annoying older brother.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I don't know. It was actually kind of, I don't know. I feel like it kind of just happened, but like I'm not a pretty. I like to think I'm not a mean person. I'd like to think I'm pretty helpful, so it was weird to just have Josh kind of yelling at me, and I was like, I don't know what's going on. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
I have to ask, for the final scene with the crying into the milk jug, did you intentionally not film the 20 minutes just to get a pure reaction from him? It seems like one of the cooler things you do as a director.
He absolutely filmed the 20 minutes. That is still a thing. He just told me so that I would.
Okay. There's a lie.
Yeah. He lied.
I have to push him to get to that point. You know?
Also, all of the scenes with the bike, masterfully shot.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
How did you like film? How did you keep up with the bike? Were you like on a bike yourself? Or
No,
were you in the car?
so yeah, that's a good question. We were in the car and I was like out the window, we're like, yeah, and just following him down the towel. The towel?
Yeah, remember? Because it was hot.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay, we can share that. I guess we had to put a towel on the car door because I kept burning my arm. But like, I'm kind of like, I'll do anything for a good shot, so I just like hold it and then I have like red marks all over. So,
But you had an amazing driver.
and yeah, my mom was an amazing driver.
So there's that.
All right, I have a quick question for Josh about the in-store scene. Seems like we talked about that a lot. It was such a great scene. By the way, Noah, that was in that scene specifically. The editing was so crisp, and the way it was thrown together made it so just good. Okay, so Josh, for that scene, there was a specific cut I saw where you turn around and yelled at a person and said, "Hey, stay out of this." Was that by any chance a real person?
That was improvised. That was not a real person.
Okay.
No, yeah. No, but if someone came up to me and was like, "Hey, why are you yelling at her?" I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. No, we're friends. We're filming." No, yeah, that was to no one.
Okay, cool.
Don't worry.
That was amazing, Noah. I loved it. My favorite line was, "I'm just the bag boy." I thought it was so funny. And I was wondering if you could tell me a little bit more about that, and if it just came to be your cameo, if you were planning on someone else doing it or anything.
So no, the bag boy's not in the script. It's just the bag boy. I can't remember if it was. I think it was that morning. I woke up that morning and I said, "You know what? I'm just gonna put myself in my film because I can do that."
Yeah.
So.
but while we're filming it, Noah was very careful because he says, like, I've seen so many terrible director cameos, and he was very careful to make it a good one. It wasn't just I'm gonna be in the movie. Like we spent a while making sure it was just what Noah wanted.
It had to make sense, and I just thought it was fun and it was short. And yeah, I have seen bad director cameos, and I just thought this one just made sense. So yeah,
it's awesome.
I have a question too. My favorite part of the whole thing was when Josh threw the tomato at the window. Yes! And I was just wondering if you could tell me more about that scene.
The tomato scene.
I'm sorry.
That was on my window for several weeks afterwards. We had to clean it off to film a scene earlier in the movie, and it was like, oh, the mayonnaise is still on the window. Let's clean that to make sure it was so that the timeline made sense, whatever.
How did you clean it?
I didn't. Now is the best time for the shout out. Noah's mom right here. Clean my window. Was there every step of the way. Yeah. Anyways, now Noah, take that.
That's all you.
So I said I don't like tomatoes, but there's more to this. It's a real story, and it's from my grandma. She's turning her back to me. Yeah, it's from her real story, and I'm worried I'm gonna mistell this story. But was it Matt? It was Matt, and he was he throwing? It was a tantrum or something, right?
Well, no, his ice cream, it was hot in the car, and his ice cream was melting.
Yeah, so.
So I said, just throw it out the window. So he threw this ice cream out the window, but it was still up.
And yeah, the window was still up, and the ice cream splattered all. And I remember my mom said it the day before we shot, like, the car scene, and that wasn't written into the script, and she said, maybe we can play with this, and I go, oh no, we can't. I go, well, maybe we could. And it's one of my favorite parts now, so thank you.
Did you get it first take? The tomato
The
throw.
tomato?
Yeah.
The take was just really long, like of me cleaning. You could see it like cuts of me cleaning the window. It actually was like I thought that the napkin would clean it, and then it didn't, and we're like, yes, movie material.
Those cuts, I really wanted to emphasize. I knew I was going to use those cuts throughout the film. It's called a French cut because it was revolutionized by French filmmakers in the French New Wave. I know, like, he didn't start it, but Godard was a big pusher of the French cut, and I knew going into this, so it wasn't just willy-nilly, like, let's just, oh, that didn't work, let's just cut. It was planned. I wanted to have French cuts, so maybe that's a new movie term you guys all know now.
How did you go about, getting permission to, film in the Kaysville Theater or film at the grocery store?
I work at the Kaysville Theater.
Oh, yeah.
And Lisa and Jeff Call, who own the theater and run it, they're the best. So it wasn't a problem. With Ridley's, my grandma went in and helped me get some numbers, get some contacts, and I was able to contact Mr. Ridley himself, which sounds like I'm like lying, but it was actually Mr. Ridley who owns Ridley's. And yeah, I called him and I was a little nervous. He was just like, "Hey bro, what's up?" I'm like, "Can we film in your store?" And he's like, "Yeah, that should be good." And it sounds so funny, but that's kind of how it happened. Yeah.
Thank you. Is there any importance to the skim milk? Like, why was it so important that it was more important than Lincoln getting hit by a car?
I'm just very specific about my milk, and like I said, I don't like milk very much. But if I'm gonna have milk, like in my cereal or something, I can't take anything but skim. Skim's the only like tolerable one for me. Like 1%, 2%. Oh no, I can't do that. I can't do that. Anyways, yeah, and I just thought, yeah, she's just very, you know, her character's perspective is James, the character, Lincoln, he's in the hospital, he's fine, he's breathing. Like she says, so let's focus on the task at hand that you still haven't gotten me, you know? So, that's that.
I'll ask a question. Can you talk to us about some of the technical aspects of the filmmaking? So, what kind of camera did you use? Did you use any additional lenses or filters or anything like that? And then the editing process, how did you accomplish that? How long did it take? Things like that.
Yeah. So the technical stuff. So I'm a big pusher. If anyone here wants to do film, I'm a big pusher of you shouldn't let technology limit you. And that's something I struggled with a lot at the beginning. Like, I just want the nicest camera, I want the nicest this. It would keep me from making films, but my biggest advice that helped me and that I would give to anyone who wants to do film is do not let it limit you. So I would, hopefully it looked and sound okay, like but if you want to know, let's start with sound. James, do you want to explain how we recorded the sound for this film? Prestigious.
Let's get James in here.
Alrighty, so usually you would use a boom mic, but those cost a lot of money. So since we are very indie producers, you know, we set a phone recording onto a tissue box, and that was our boom mic. So that got rid of all the bumps in the audio. So tissue box works.
Yeah, use the tissue box.
With tissue inside?
Yes, so there's, Josh,
There's reasoning behind that. I had done different tests, and I just set the phone on the table, and I noticed, especially for that opening scene, if it was just on the table, you'd hear all the type sounds. And so having something that was sort of hollow inside, but I think something about having something that's stable inside, so it's not hollow, but it's not it kind of absorbs sound, putting it on there helped. So that was just the mic. The camera was a Panasonic G85. So it's a nicer camera. And my lens, I'm very specific. I only have one lens I use right now. I'd love to experiment with more, but it's the Helios 44-2, and it's a vintage Russian lens. So it's from the USSR, and we had it imported from Europe, and they use that same lens to shoot the Batman, if anyone loves that film. So, the editing. You asked about the editing as well, right? So I've always edited all my projects in iMovie Mobile on my phone. This was pretty much all edited in iMovie Mobile on my phone. It was just me sitting there on my phone making little cuts. We did put it into DaVinci Resolve, which is a little higher end because I wanted to add a fine grain over the image, and I couldn't do that in iMovie. But that was the one thing that we added in. The rest is iMovie on my phone. So yeah, don't let technology limit you if you want to make films. Just do it.
I was just wondering about the hospital and how did you get a cast on and the permissions with that?
Well, my dad's a doctor, so he's a partial owner of a clinic, so yeah, they were very kind to let us shoot there, and I think Lincoln touched a little bit on it. Do you want to talk about this or do you want me to? We put him in in the script it was a full body cast. We sort of worked it around to be a little more realistic, you know. But because of the way the cast was on his, I believe there was one on his leg and one on one of his arms, he couldn't walk, so we had to wheel him all around the whole clinic in August, and that was
where
pretty
we
fun.
put the stuff on to the hospital bed on the other end. The wheelchair all the way, yeah.
It was fun. It was very kind of them to let us film. I mean, who gets to do that? That's pretty amazing.
We had a mini audience too.
Yeah, we had some doctors and nurses all like in a line watching us.
Was that actually your heartbeat that went up when you reached your cut?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that actually, it was weird. Like, I think my heartbeat went, I think it got lower when it was my turn to talk. I don't really know how that works, but like.
It had a very good comedic effect.
Yeah, it was pretty funny actually. I liked that part. At the start of the take, it was like really fast, and then
It was attached to his finger.
yeah, it was on my finger. It was pretty fun. I thought we were gonna just like add them in at the end, but I'm glad we did that because then it's it wouldn't be better.
When you were riding the bike, what were you actually listening to on the cassette?
Oh yeah, it was this. I got the cassette from Charlie, and then
you got the cassette player.
The cassette player. That's what I meant. Sorry. And then I got one of the cassettes from my grandma. Actually had it in her like basement or something. She just had like a bunch of old ones she wasn't using. And I think it's called like Honky Tonk.
It was like Honky Tonk Beats or something.
Yeah. It wasn't like, like the newest like album or anything. It wasn't like crazy good music.
You ended up quite liking it though, right? He came to me and my mom at the end of the day and he's like, I think I'm gonna like this. Maybe not.
So how many times did you have to shoot the grocery scene with people yelling at you for yelling at Charlie? If that makes any sense.
I had like maybe 2 or 3 people stop me and say, "Hey, stop yelling at her." That was like, it was another one of the French cuts thing where it's cutting in and out. But we just did the same thing a lot, and he said, "Okay, improvise, just yell at Charlie about whatever." So yeah, let's get Charlie in here.
My favorite part of probably that whole thing, we were, doing it a whole lot. It was just kind of like, let's just keep going with this, and then we would stop, and then we'd keep going again, just saying random stuff. But there's one take that we just kind of kept going, and Josh kind of, it's not that he didn't know what to say, he kind of just started doing like random things. Like we actually added then he like pretends like he has milk, and he's like, you just have to beep, and he was like going from like really mad, and then he goes beep, and I like couldn't take it. I was like doing so good, and I just like started bursting out laughing. What was that? But yeah, we had to do it a lot, but it definitely stayed fun because Josh kept doing different things.
Noah, do you still happen to have the video of Lincoln puking the red?
I knew it was coming. No.
Do I confirm or deny?
No,
it is locked far away in the archives.
No,
it will never be. It will never come out. It will never come out.
It's never coming out.
I apologize. I apologize.
No.
Nope.
Making our way.
That's quite.
Okay, so Noah, when I caught you at the dentist office, you were editing something. What was it?
What? Sorry.
So when I caught you at the dentist,
Yeah.
you were editing something.
That was this.
It was this?
That was
like
this.
what scene?
Oh, I don't remember. I would edit anywhere I was on my phone. I think I was just sitting in theater the other day on my phone editing. Like when I was on stage. I just finished the final cut of this last night, well, this morning at 3 a.m. I'm always, if I have more time to edit, I am, because it can always be better in my mind. So I'm always making even split-second cuts, because it has to feel right to me. It has to feel right.
Every 10 minutes we spent acting, Noah spent 10 hours editing. Like, a lot went into it. Give or take, yeah.
Okay, so I don't have a question, but I just wanted to say that I'm proud of all of you.
Thank you. I think that's all. So, yeah, I guess just from all of us, thank you so much for the support and coming to see me.
Noah, when does it come out online?
Okay, SKIM will be released on YouTube for you to all watch as you please on Tuesday. Tuesday is the day.